Omar Ahmed, IFLTV MTK Global, joined by Ted. 2 days out now. Massive fight night. You and Scott Fitzgerald, a much anticipated domestic clash. You all ready, yeah?
Yeah, all good. Physically in unbelievable shape, mentally fresh. I'm just looking forward to it now. Really excited to weigh in tomorrow and just start refueling and get ready to do the business Saturday night.
You've been in a big domestic fight. Well, a couple already had that
Yeah,
Kieran Conway clash. Not many people knew him, but
yeah,
inside boxing we knew that Kieran's a very good
yeah.
fighter. You had this in your Byfield. You've been involved in big fights, but would you say this is the biggest one till date?
Obviously, the next fight is always the biggest fight, but for me, this is a massive fight because if I go and beat Scott, um, it all the rest is forgotten about. I've dusted all the cobwebs off. I've still forgotten about, and then I push on in my career. But my main focus is just making sure I'm 100% Saturday night, which I have been through camp and doing the business. But I'm really confident on doing that.
Interesting mix with you three. I mentioned you three. I include Anthony Fowler in
Yeah,
that mix because Anthony was expected to beat Scott,
yeah,
and the fight that we expect to see was you and Anthony. You'd been going back and forth a lot
yeah.
with Fowler. Were you surprised, firstly, with Scott, and secondly, what did you make of his performance against Fowler?
It was a good performance. Yeah, it was a really good performance. It was a good fight overall, but it was like an unexperienced fight. Both of them had never done that sort of rounds before. Well, Scott had done a 10 rounder, but not against someone as good. And that was Fowler's first test as a pro. And obviously, Fitzgerald performed better on the night and got knocked down and won the fight. But it weren't at a great pace. It is quite a chess match up until the last 8, 9, and 10. Do you know what I mean? So I know I've been in higher paced fights all my last 5, 6 big fights. They've all been at a higher pace, 10 rounds, 12 rounds, and I know I can perform at that pace. Obviously, that ain't my only. I'm not a one trick pony. I can box. I can fight. I can I can think. I can move if I need to. But that's how I've been fighting, and obviously I know in the 10th round of that fight with Fowler and Fitzgerald, they were both blowing out their ass, and as long as I can keep like composed, keep my head moving and everything, keep pushing Scott back, pressure him, he's gonna tire. Do you know what I mean? He's gonna tire, and when the championship rounds come, I'm gonna make sure they can, and I think everyone knows that, and that's why I think a little while when the first fight first got announced, everyone was sort of swaying fully to Scott. I think now everyone's starting to realise they can see I'm in really good shape. They can see I'm mentally a lot better, and I think it's starting to get back to the 50-50 bit where some people are saying Scott's going to win, some people are saying I'm going to win because they know what I'm saying is right. I've got the experience, and experience really does count. And when I've had good nights, I've performed really well and boxed exceptional. I've had a couple of fights where it ain't gone my way, but it's like I come up against very good opponents. And Sergio Garcia, the Conway fight, I was very unlucky not to get the decision, but I've took that now as experience. Do you know what I mean? It's a new chapter. If I win this fight, it's fresh. It's a fresh start. I'm top of the pack again, and there's brilliant fights out there for me at domestic level with Fowler, Fitzgerald again, Conway again.
You'd be open to that Conway rematch
Yeah,
just to put that draw to
yeah,
bed, kind of?
James Metcalf, Sam Egerton, Jason Wobble, there's massive fights at domestic level. Do you know what I mean? The rush again to European level, business wise as well as publicity wise, this fight is more a lot. I've got a lot more attention from this fight than I did the Garcia fight, and in my head, the Garcia was a lot harder fight, even on paper, to when I got in there on the night than what the fight with Scott is. But obviously, all what matters about is Saturday night, and I'm 100% in great shape. I'm in the best shape I've been as a pro. I've done everything right. There's been no stone left unturned. I'm just excited to get in and do the business now.
Quite interesting you mentioned Kieran Conway. Even if you win on Saturday night, would you be open to having that rematch just to get rid of that draw and get a W for yourself against
Yeah,
Conway?
definitely. Obviously, look, there's a lot of big fights, and with boxing, it's always about risk and reward and everything. And like I've took that fight. Obviously, like I said earlier, I was unlucky. I think very unlucky not to get decision. If you look at all the commentators all over boxing, whether or not it was just Sky commentators, Dazan commentators, all journalists had me winning the fight. Do you get what I mean? So I was very unlucky that night. But obviously that's a fight down the line that can happen again as long as Kieran keeps winning, I keep winning. But the fights like Anthony Fowler, Sam Egan, these are big names for me. Do you know what I mean? Like the Conway fight, it was more of I got the British defence in and get a win before I go on to this big fight with Scott. But obviously, like where it happened in a draw, it never worked out that way. And I don't want to keep going on. I felt that I was hard done by them, but it's still a good fight. He's put his name into that scene now of the domestic scene, and there's a load of us there who we can all box each other, and they're all good fights that the public want to see, and it's great. It's a great domestic scene at light middleweight. I think it's the most exciting weight out of all the weights other than heavyweight, because everyone wants to see the heavyweights. But out of the other weights, there's where the big fights in, and the British scene.
Yeah, I think in Britain you're definitely right. It's you've got a lot of talent at 54, and a lot of guys at British level like yourself looking. Well, you have fought at European level, but have come up short. But looking to burst onto that European and world stage.
Yeah.
Interesting comment you made about Fitzgerald and Fowler. They're both, as you said, blowing out their asses in their fight they had together. So is that what you're banking on? We all know your strengths. Yeah. Are you banking on that against Scott?
No, of course not. I'm not banking on that. But I just know if it's a nitty gritty tough fight and it gets to that stage, I know at that point I can take over. Hopefully I'm winning from round 1 to round 12, or if it gets stopped earlier, I'm winning. But what I'm saying is, no matter no matter the situation, if it does get to that stage, I know I've been there. Scott tonight's going to be sitting there tonight, tomorrow night, fight night in the change room, thinking, will I be okay to do the 12 rounds? You can spar it, you can train it, you can do whatever, but you've always thinking, I need to maybe conserve a bit of energy for them 12 rounds. Until you've done it, then you know you can do it, and you can just push through it and get on because you know you've been there. But until he gets in there and does it, you've always got them doubts. So look, when it does get to championship rounds, if it needs to get to that, if it gets that far, I'll make sure I'll make that count. Them rounds count.
As I said, you suffered that defeat to Sergio Garcia, and you had a draw against Conway. So are you feeling extra pressure going Saturday night? Or is it not on your head?
I've got no pressure at all. The pressure I'm putting on myself is my desire to win and my desire to prove everyone wrong who's doubted me. Because, to be honest, as I said in a press conference earlier, after I beat Byfield, like everyone jumped on the bandwagon. I was probably one of the biggest prospects coming into the 2019, and then all of a sudden I lost to the European title. I come out let out about all my demons. So it was sort of like, it's not an excuse as much as it was an excuse, but the thing was, I let it out. I never made an excuse on the night. I come out months after. I've sorted myself out. I got myself mentally right. I was hard done by in the Conway fight. And now it's been even longer time, and I'm mentally the freshest I've been in the last 3 years. Do you know what I mean? And I'm excited. And usually when it gets to fight week, I'm worrying about loads of stuff. It's great. Not like some people go, how do you feel to be out of London? I'm so happy to be out of London, because tonight I'd be probably running around dropping tickets off to people.
What, on a Thursday, yeah?
Yeah, like,
would you?
Doing things like that, because when you're in camp, you don't want to be doing it, but then you got the spare last couple of days where you should be relaxing, but because you ain't want to do it while you're training, you know you got to run, you end up just leaving things the last minute. But while I'm up here, all tickets that I never sold are handed back, everything's done. All I've got to worry about is relaxing, making my weight, and just making sure I'm ready for a fight night. But in London, it don't act like that. You're too active, or your mates want to see you, you end up bumping into your mates. I'm nice, relaxed, fresh up here. I'm happy to be away. Sometimes I think it's better to be away from home, because as much as, again, like I'm going in there the underdog Saturday, but I'm the British champion. As I said earlier, I'm beating at domestic level. I've had some really good dominating performances at British level, and I'm 100% confident that I'll do that again Saturday night. And that's why I'm looking forward to it so much, because at first I was thinking I'm getting fully writ off. But I think over the last week or two, everyone started to really rethink about it and have the doubts with Fitzgerald as well. So now there's a big debate between loads of people, whether some people are going with Fitz, some are going with me. And that's what I've always told everyone. Don't think about my last 2 fights. I was mentally gone. Yeah, think about the fights before when I dominated Byfield for 12 rounds. When I beat Carson Jones comfortably, the man who knocked Brian Rose out in a round and the big puncher Anthony Fowler went 10 rounds with. Do you know what I mean? So it shows you what I've done. And that was all when I was 22, 23. Do you know what I mean? I'm only a year older, but a year, I think a lot of things changed. In the last 6 months of my life, a lot of things changed. My life has changed dramatically over the last 6 months. But this is my 14th week in camp because we knew we was going to be fighting Fitzgerald. We didn't know the date. At first, it was meant to be October the 5th in Manchester, I think. But then the Prograis, Josh Taylor fight started getting changed. So then now this was the date. So I'm super fit. I'm unbelievable, in unbelievable shape. I was sparring 12 rounds last week with 3 different opponents, fresh going into the 12th round. I'm in great shape and I'm so confident. I ain't been confident like this for a long while. I've had a lot of negative thoughts on my mind and stuff, fight week, things, worrying about other stuff. But this time, this camp, all I've cared about is boxing. Do you know what I mean? That's all I've cared about. Going training, then going home relaxing. If I need a massage when I'm tight, getting a massage. Making sure I'm eating all my prep meals all the time. When sometimes before, as much as I'd be on my prep meals, sometimes I'd miss it for and then have like a rubbish meal or whatever, and be chucking loads of snacks.
Why were you doing that?
Because I weren't focused, because I was too worried about gambling and everything else. You know what I mean? Like when I was coming out the gym, I wanted to get straight into a Bookies. I weren't thinking about I'm sparring at 10. I've got to spar this fella, I'm going to do this and spar, I'm going to do that, I've been working on this. All I've been thinking is, I'm sparring at 10, I want to get at the gym by about 12:30, because then it takes me about 40 minutes to get home. I can get home, and then by about 1:30 the races start, so I'll be in the Bookies by that time then. Obviously I've done my training, what I need to do, but then now I've got my day to try and earn some money through the Bookies.
That was on top of your head?
Yeah, all the time, you know what I mean, all the time. But now, I've got so much time on my hands. And before that was what I was doing. The habit become from wasting time, like having time in your hands and just using it to waste time, and it made it an addiction. But now I've got so much time on the hands, and what I do is sometimes I sit at home, I have a few games of FIFA online or something, and some people go, "Oh, it's pathetic. You're a 24-year-old, why are you sitting indoors playing FIFA?" Well, it's better than me when I was sitting around in the Bookies and killing time, or I'm sitting on indoors watching Netflix, a few episodes of Power or another series, and then if I've got an hour where I'll book a massage once or twice a week, and sometimes I'll leave it 3 weeks, I'll have a niggle, but I think I'll have a massage, but I wouldn't because I'll be too worried about other stuff than what I was actually should be doing for my performance and my body and everything. But now, I've always been a dedicated fighter when I was younger. Do you know what I mean? Where everyone knows if you speak to people from the amateur game and when I was first pro and up to a good level of pro. But then obviously the addiction got the better of me, and then I come out to Tony after my Garcia fight there, and Tony helped me sort it out, and I've sorted it out since then. I ain't had a bet since April the 6th. It's nearly 200 days. It's a long time, obviously, but on a recovery program, it's a day at a time. But now, I'm so happy in my life, do you know what I mean? My life, I'm so much more comfortable, I'm so much more mentally fresh, and I'm feeling so good because all I'm thinking about is boxing, do you know what I mean? Before, I had a million other things on my brain, but now, I'm thinking about boxing, and I'm thinking about winning, and providing for my kid, making sure he's got a good life, making sure he had a better life than what I had when I grew up, even though my life was good, but I want to make sure whenever as a kid, I'll get as much as I could possibly have. But I want him to be able to have as much as he possibly have and more. Do you know what I mean? And that's what this sport can do for you. But when I weren't focused, the sport could have been over for me. But for now, I know I'm 100% driven, I'm 100% motivated, and I'm 100% focused. And when I'm always in good shape, because I train hard no matter what. I was always in good shape. But you got to be a thinking fighter as well as someone who's fit. Anyone can be fit, but you got to be able to think. And I've been thinking the whole camp, in sparring, in training, working on loads of stuff. And I'm just looking forward to going there on Saturday and shocking a lot of people, because a lot of people have ripped me off. But I promise you, I'm 100% confident on winning, and I believe I'm going to win comfortably. As much as everyone's making it, it's going to be a tight fight. It's going to be a hard fight. I promise you, there's going to be a dominant performance. To be my best performance as a professional boxer, I think, will come Saturday night.
I don't think I've ever sort of heard you speak like this.
Yeah.
Well, not recently, anyways.
Yeah.
But we didn't know what kind of problems you were going through. So
Yeah.
it's good to hear that they're all cleared up.
Yeah.
And you haven't had a bet since April, you said?
April the 6th, yeah.
Wow. So keep that up, really.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will. And
Yeah.
yeah, as I said, you sound very confident for Saturday night. So
Yeah.
we should expect a very good fight.
Yeah. Listen, I always leave it in there no matter what, but
We know that.
But let me tell you something. This time, look, the confidence is there. The mind's there. The mind's fresh, and I'm relaxed. Like I said to you, I've been here since yesterday. All I've been doing is relaxing. The weight's made. I'm good.
Do you feel like it's a second part of your career?
Yeah. Do you know what? It's like the best thing that ever happened to me was losing in February, because otherwise, if I won in February, I'd have been European champion. I'd either have fought another British fighter for a massive purse for the European title as a British domestic clash, or I'd have had like a world title eliminator. Oh, you never know, you could have got a world title shot, and then I would have got a load of money for that. If I won or lost, I would have spunked that money, and then when you get to that sort of level, when it fails and you fail, it's sort of done. But now I'm still a young man, I'm still 24 years old, I'm still British champion, I'm still unbeaten at British domestic level, and I've got a massive fight in front of me Saturday, and if I win that fight, it's like I pushed on again. I pushed to that level. Everyone gets the belief back. Like, obviously, right now for people, it's a sob story. Do you know what I mean? It's that's why when I spoke to Tony before, when I thought, he said to me like when Matchroom asked about it, I said, no, I don't want to do it really. But then Tony went like, look, you're better off getting it off your chest. Do you know what I mean? But I said, no, I don't want to make it look like I'm making excuses. But I ain't. That's just literally, that's how it is. Do you know what I mean? But I've sorted it out. Do you know what I mean? I'm in a much better place right now, and all the people around me would tell you, my family, my close friends, I'm a better person now. Do you know what I mean? And I'm more focused. I'm driven again. You know, I've always been a driven fighter, and for a period of time, I turned complacent and just got through it because I was stuck in a bubble. But now that bubble's been burst when I got beat, and it mentally, it's given me that motivation again now, the last however month since February. The doubters, the critics, the thing, it's given me so much drive. In this camp, I've pushed unbelievably hard. I sparred class, and you know what? When I was boxing world at the start of my pro career, a lot of the times when I was sparring, I weren't always sparring a great share. I have bad days, but near enough every spar I've had this camp's been a good spar, and I mean I've been performing good. When I've had training, when we do a 7 o'clock session, 7:30 sessions on a Tuesday and Thursday, before we'd go breakfast, then I'd end up going in with the boys. Sometimes we'd have a bet, but they could have 5 or 10, 20 quid. I'd end up sitting in there till my training session, then turn up to training thinking, for fuck's sake, sorry for swearing, but like thinking, thinking like, for God's sake, I've been in there, I've done my bollocks. It ain't even half 11, 12 yet. You know what I mean? I've done like all this money. It's just a waste. What am I doing? Then for the whole day of training, like the whole session of training, all I'll be thinking is, I want to get home so I can go and get some more money to go back in the bookies to try and win that money that I lost. But now, I'm going to the breakfast with the boys, going back to the gym, having a lay down, putting the normal tech recovery things on my legs, relaxing. Do you know what I mean? And it's much better. Do you know what I mean? It's so much better. And
sounds healthy.
yeah, it's healthy, and you know, I'm making use of my time. And before, I weren't making use of my time. Every day was a rush, so my life was going round and round, and so quick it was like a whirlwind. But I weren't making no use of my time. You know what I mean? I was always tired from training because I weren't recovering. So even in training stuff, and that, training would feel a lot harder because as much as I'm trying hard, I'm mentally knackered and drained. Plus I'm physically tired because I've not been resting. But now I'm physically fresh as a daisy, and my body's recovering all the time. So it's like I've got a new lease of life again, and I just feel so good. I felt so good this camp, and I'm happy in myself. I've got that spring back in my step. I've got that belief. Even going into the Conway fight, I was still quite negative because I was still getting over a lot of things. Still, it was still early. Do you know what I mean? I'd sort of started sorting myself out, but it would come around quick. When I'm sorting myself out, I'm in training camp trying to sort myself out, plus trying to get fit, trying to focus. But now it's been a decent amount of time, and I'm feeling really good, and I'm just really excited for Saturday because I can't wait to do the business. And when I do the business, but a lot of people are going to be shocked. And the people who have stuck by me and believed in me, they're going to be happy because they believed in me the whole time. So I'm glad because it is only a few people. It's not a handful. It's probably 100 people. But before it was 1,000 people. Do you know what I mean? But nah, some of them that like out the 1,000, out the 900, what I'm saying probably don't believe in me now. They may act like they believe in me, but they're doubting me. But there's that strong 100 or whatever. I know my good friends, my close family who know what I've been through, know what's been going on, and they've stuck by me. And when after the Garcia fight, when I said after the Garcia fight, and it got the better of me, and I said, look, boxing's done. I'm not doing boxing no more. They all stuck by me and told me, don't waste your talent. Don't think you just get your head right and get back to it. And that's why I'm so glad because a lot of people let it get the better of themselves. But within 6 months, I've changed my life around, and I'm going to be in a better position again after this weekend than a lot of 24-year-olds. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm happy for, and I'm looking for that, and I strive for success, and I'm doing all the right things now. So success will come.
All right, Ted. Appreciate you opening up a little bit on your sort of troubles in recent times, but it seems like they're all past you now, and it goes on to Saturday night. All right, listen, best of luck, and I'm sure whatever happens, we'll catch a word after. All right.
Yeah. Cheers.
Good man. Thank you.
Cheers.